Welcome to the Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Virtual Church. My name is Wayne, and I hope you're doing well. Today our minister, the Reverend Jeff Briere, relates two not very well-known stories from World War II.
To accompany the lighting of the chalice, I have some words about eating in the present moment. You may find this pandemic brings you opportunities you didn't have when your movements weren't restricted. For instance, we all have more time now to prepare meals and eat in mindfulness.
In his book, Jewish Meditation, Aryeh Kaplan notes that in Jewish teachings, it is very important that when people eat, they should concentrate totally on the food and the experience of eating it, clearing the mind of all other thoughts. They should have in mind that the taste of food is also an expression of the divine in the food, and that by eating it, they are incorporating this spark of the divine into their bodies. People can also have in mind that they will dedicate the energy they obtain from this food to God's service. It is taught that when people do this, it is counted as if the food they are eating is a sacrifice to the great altar in Jerusalem. Therefore, eating itself can be a form of meditation as well as a means through which one can draw closer to God. One of our newer members, Charis C, offers a welcome to this service by sharing a song that reminds us this is not our first time we have been separated by means outside ourselves. She will guide us through the parts of the song so we can sing along. This is Turn Your Radio On.
Hi, greetings from Johnson City. This has been popularized by John Hartford, and it's got a little bit of an echo, call and response, harmony going on in the chorus. So Brian's going to demonstrate that part for you if you'd like to sing along. So we're going to sing the chorus together, and you can hear the part that you can sing along with if you'd like, and then we'll play the song. Little Iris in the background. Turn your radio on, turn your radio on, and listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on, turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share, heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low, turn your lights down low, and listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God, get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Come and listen in to the radio station where the mighty hosts of heaven sing. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. If you want to hear the songs of Zion coming from the land of endless spring, get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Here's the chorus. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. And listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share. Heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low. Turn your lights down low. And listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Gotta listen to the songs of the mothers and fathers and the many friends that gone before. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Some eternal morning we shall meet them over on the Hallelujah shore. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. Here's the chorus again. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. And listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share. Heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low. Turn your lights down low. And listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on. One more time. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. And listen to the music in the air. Turn your radio on. Turn your radio on. Heaven's glory share. Heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low. Turn your lights down low. And listen to the Master's radio. Get in touch with God. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Good morning. My name is Jeff Briere, and I am the virtual minister of this virtual church. I hope you're doing well on this Easter Sunday morning. So I've been observing people and reading reports and stories about people's behavior during this pandemic, and I was reminded of a couple of books I read a few years ago. The books both concern the times and the culture of World War II, something I thought I knew pretty much about. Turns out I didn't. Anyway, there have been a lot of comparisons to that time and the times today. I thought I knew a lot about World War II, but I learned from reading the books that the Germans invaded England and occupied part of it throughout the entire war. I'm talking about the Channel Islands of Guernsey, Alderney, Jersey, and Sark. The British decided the islands had no strategic value, so they evacuated everybody that wanted to go, and they let the Germans have the place. The Germans established a concentration camp there and populated it with slave laborers from all over, but mostly Eastern Europe. They forced the people of the islands to grow vegetables for the German army. I learned all this from reading The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer. The book is the story of Elizabeth, a young woman whose quick thinking saves her friends from the German guards. She becomes a hero to the people in the island because of her courage that she had to resist the Germans. But then she falls in love with a German physician who is stationed on the island, and together they have a child. The German doctor gets shipped off to tend to soldiers on the Eastern Front, and the mother, Elizabeth, is arrested for resistance activities, and she is shipped off to a labor camp in France, and she dies there, a hero to the end. I had to wonder, how could she do that? About World War II, I had always thought that the French were the epitome of gallantry, la résistance. But I learned that the French National Police collaborated with the Gestapo. Did you know that? I didn't. On July 16, 1942, the French police arrested more than 12,000 Jews at the behest of the Germans. They herded them into a velodrome, and then the Germans took them off to concentration camps in Eastern Europe. The incident was ignored by French historians for many years. Again, I had to wonder, why did they do that? How could they do that? I learned about the episode from reading Charis C by Tatiana de Rosnay. The book is the story of a girl who locked her little brother in a secret closet to keep him from being taken by the Germans. She thought the French National Police would intervene and all would be well. Well, the police took her and her family, and she never got back to her home to free her brother. She never got back, and it haunted her for the rest of her life. The current unpleasantness has brought out admirable behavior in people, and it has revealed some people to be rather poor specimens of humanity. Some people downplay the seriousness of the threat or ignore it altogether. Others concoct conspiracy theories to explain events that they don't understand. Some people are hoarding needed items like paper goods. And then there is the profiteering. A couple of brothers in Chattanooga thought to enrich themselves at this time. They drove all over 3 states and bought all the hand sanitizer they could find. And then they had 80,000 bottles to sell on Amazon, but they were shut down to Amazon's credit. And to the brothers' credit, they donated their hoard. On the other hand, the selflessness of medical personnel, police, first responders, and others on the front line is commendable. Stores have instituted special hours for seniors so they are able to get and buy supplies before everyone else does. Grocery stores have initiated curbside pickup or delivery services for little or no fee. When a doctor was pulled over for speeding in Minnesota, the police officer gave her 5 face masks instead of a ticket. A woman in Warwick, Rhode Island, called police because she had no food in the house and the community center couldn't help her for a few days. An officer asked for her shopping list and got it for her. People have tried to lift spirits. In Milan, Michigan, neighbors step outside each night at 7 o'clock and just smile and wave at each other. I saw a sidewalk painting when I was walking the dog the other day. In bright chalk colors, someone had painted, "Happy Spring, everybody," and decorated it with flowers. Someone on Facebook mentioned a teddy bear hunt. I had to research that. I didn't know what it was. Turns out all I had to do was put a teddy bear or some other stuffed animal in front window of my house so that it can be seen from the sidewalk. People walking or driving by count the teddy bears they see. So what's the point of all this rambling? Maybe there isn't one, except to honestly admit that human beings have the capacity of being evil and petty and self-serving. They can also be charitable, forgiving, and courageous. I guess my point in all this rambling is that we would do well to remember that we're humans, and humans are not perfect. Nothing is perfect. We are mysterious beings who sometimes do not live up to our own potential. But we keep trying.
May I be filled with love and kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with love and kindness. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with love and kindness. May you be filled with love and kindness. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with love and kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with love and kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we
Our benediction today is a brief tale from the Hasidic tradition. A famous and much-loved rabbi lived an unusually abundant life. After his death, one of his disciples was asked, "What was the most important to your teacher?" The student answered, "Whatever he happened to be doing at that moment." Things, places, nature, and animals can be catalysts that precipitate spiritual experiences. They point us toward the sacred presence in the world and teach us about meaningful existence. But while these aspects of life may set us on a spiritual path, it is our activities that move us along it. Every activity can be read for its spiritual meaning. When we act out of the center of our being, when we act with awareness of the ultimate value of existence, when we come alive to our deeper selves and the wider community, then everything we do is a step on our spiritual journey. Please help me close this service now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. My name is Ann, and I serve this church as chair of the music committee. Thanks for joining us today. Please come back whenever you like. We will post another virtual church service next Sunday. Our Facebook page has more good content. On Mondays, it features something for youngsters. On Wednesdays, inspirational content. And on Fridays, you could find all age content there. Many thanks to Ann and Cindy for putting this together. To close today's service, Charis C offers a 12-syllable mantra from the Hindu tradition. This mantra represents cosmic sound of life, salutations to the divine, the light within and around, and an acknowledgement of beginning. Charis says our current situation may be an ending to the familiar, but it is in fact a beginning. Our nurturing nature may feel hindered, yearning to reach out and embrace, but we must salute our true nature, which is light, love, and connectedness, in spite of our distance. As you make your way through the week, remember these words. You are good. You are loved. We could all use a little work, and we're all in this together. Nothing left to say but yay, church!
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.